Alright, I'm going to try and do a tutorial here for Tony Hawk 2 100% speedrun. I'm kind of just going to wing it, so I might miss a couple of things. I might go into too much detail on certain things I shouldn't go into too much detail on. But overall, I'm going to try and cover as much as I can with 100% speedrun to make it easier for people to pick it up. So I'm going to start off with some basics. So you start from a fresh career file, and you can use a couple of different skaters for the run, but it's easiest to use Jamie Thomas, I'd say, because he has low air stats, and that's important because you don't want to get a lot of hang time. The longer you spend time in the air, the longer it takes for you to get down, and that's sort of a waste. He has high enough ollie to get by, and his speed starts off pretty good. Plus his rail balance helps. So before you actually start playing the game, you have the option to edit your tricks before you start a run. And I'd highly recommend doing this, mostly because you want a trick called the 360 flip that is easily available, because it starts off with Jamie being down flip, and that's kind of not the easiest input to use. So I like to set it to up and flip, because it's sort of a, when you're doing nollies and bonelesses, which require you to press up before you do an ollie, it's kind of just like one more up, or you just hold up after that and do a flip, and that way you can start a lot of combos with it. So highly recommend changing that to that. Another thing that you could do, so kickflip is left and flip. You could maybe add a couple other kickflips on here, because there's a goal where you have to do a kickflip, but it's not super important. And then you can change your specials. Jamie has a special grind, which is this one. He has a special flip, which is this one. And he has a special manual, which is this one. So I recommend going through those and changing them to inputs that you're familiar with and comfortable with. And then what you do when you're done doing that, you go just like enter a level and save the career as whatever you want to save it as, and then you will have a save file with your mapped out tricks that you can start the game off with from a fresh career. So what I also recommend doing is going into the actual game folder and copying that save file into another directory as a backup, because it's very easy to overwrite saves in this game while you're doing a run just by menuing errors. I do it all the time. But you can also, inside the game folder, just make multiple copies of the same thing. Just Control C, Control V, and then you have something like this. So G is my career start, and I have like a ton of them for all the times that I screw up. So it's useful to have that. So that's most of the preparatory things. I'll load one of these. You can change the style, blah blah blah. But yeah, so like I have 360 flip, I'm ready to go. So I'm gonna start to go through the routes that some of us use, that I use for a lot of these levels. I'm gonna try and break it down into multiple parts and not necessarily do everything at full speed, and try to explain like why I'm doing it. So 100%, obviously you get all the goals in the game with one skater. You also need to get all of the gold medals, so it's effectively called all goals and golds, because if you think about it, 100% of Tony Hawk 2 would actually be 100%ing the game with every single skater and getting all the gaps and like buying all the other stuff, if you want to like really arbitrarily define it. So this is like sort of 100% for one career, not counting gaps. But the way you look at it, at least the way I look at it, is if you see the level goals right there under the picture of the hangar, it's at 0%, and you can go through every level and 100% every level, and the game sets it to 100% once you get all the goals and all the cash. So that's what this run does. So you start the timer when you enter the level from the goals menu right here. So it would be like now, that's when I would start the timer. So before I start actually doing the run, I should probably show off like a couple of important little technical things. So I was talking about bonelesses and nollies, or no complies. They are the little ollie tricks that give you a little boost of points, and they get you a little bit of air, and you want to do those almost all the time. Sometimes they're unnecessary and they get you too much air and it sort of slows you down, but most of the time it's a good idea to do that. So another thing is, so I specifically have airwalk and 360 flip, and you'll see if you start off a level and the first thing you do is a boneless airwalk 360 flip, you have just enough time to land it and it gets you exactly 3,000 points, which is enough to get you special. And getting special is important because then you go faster, you ollie higher, all your stats are effectively upped by a little bit, but that only works the first time that you enter the level and do the trick, because the more often you do a trick, the fewer points it is worth. So you'll see, like, I do a 360 flip, 250, another one 125, etc., until it reaches its like floor value, and for 360 flip it's 50. Getting switch changes that up. You get more points when you do stuff in switch, but your stats are diminished unless you have maxed out switch stats, which is a waste of time to get for this run. So right there you'll see I did a perfect landing. Perfect landings are cool because they give you a big point boost and they add to your multiplier for your combos, but they also give you a bit of a speed boost when you land them. So you want to try and do perfect landings pretty much all the time. It's not super easy until you get like the feel for it, but it's a good thing to practice. Yeah. What else is important to know about general mechanics? Perfect landings are good. Sometimes you also get a speed boost when you land a special trick, particularly when you go off something like just like a little kicker, and then you land. It's not super noticeable, but it's a thing. So that's some of the general mechanics stuff. Just as general advice for like doing vert combos, do like a boneless kickflip and then a grab. Boneless flip grab is a good, like, efficient way to get a decent amount of points from like a vert trick. Other than that, you'll get a lot of your score in this game from chaining together manual stuff like this and grind stuff. And there's this thing in the game called degree add-on, which is sort of a glitch where if you do a long grind combo and you do like quick 180s like that, you'll see right there, I don't know if you noticed, but it said 720 airwalk was my first trick. Really, I did a 180 airwalk, or just a regular airwalk. So what degree add-on does is when you do those little 180s, which you can do by manual as well, it gives you increase in this degree of the spin of your first trick. And spin multipliers are, they impact your score a lot in combos, so it's a good way to get up your score in a really quick time. So that's some of the basic mechanics. I don't know, maybe like wallies are sort of important for the run, and it's sort of like Tony Hawk 1 where it's best to do them really quick. Watch out for big drops. Big drops are sort of wonky. You have to time your landing really well. You have to like press ollie as you land, and it sort of sucks. But yeah, you can get a lot of error with wallies, especially if you do a boneless and you do the volley really fast. That helps you get to certain areas sometimes. Alright, so I'm going to reload the career because I got a couple of goals. And we're going to go through the actual route for our hangar, first level. So, actually let me explain the level goals really quick. So, every level there are a certain amount of unique goals, and there are a certain amount of goals that every level have, including high score, pro score, 6 score, skate, hidden tape, and 100% goals and cash are in every level. And then the unique goals for hangar are barrel hunt, pilot wings, nose grind over the pipe, and hang time gaps. So the route's designed to try and get all of that as fast as possible with like minimal redundant movement. So there are a lot of ways you can approach different levels, especially hangar. One way that I find that I do it particularly consistently is this route I'll show you. So the first thing I do is start off the level, and then immediately you turn around and you get this pilot wing up right here. And then you'll see I landed in the direction of this set of barrels so that I can get one of the barrels. And then boom, next thing is a pilot wing right here. Do a little combo here, and then you can get cash and a letter. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go up this the ramp over the half pipe and try and get the S, and that also gets you one of the hang time gaps. Meanwhile, there's a little set of barrels on the way there, so you kind of do that. Alright, so I got the gap in the S there. Now I need to turn around, and I need to go over this because this is another hang time gap. Meanwhile, I'll get the A. So now we transfer over here, there's another pilot wing, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go up the ramp. You can see it's in the top of the screen right now where the helicopter is, because that's the final hang time gap. And that's also going to point me sort of in the direction of the next letter and the next set of barrels. So sometimes you need to do a little bonus there depending on how much speed you have. This you can usually get with Jamie just by not even ollieing in air. So you fall faster, it's quicker to not get air while you're airing, if that makes any sense. So now I've got most of the, all but two sets of barrels, all but one of the letters, and all of the hang time gaps. And I've got the majority of my score from the combo I did in the beginning. Next thing I'm going to do is grind the helicopter blade, which opens up the secret area where the hidden tape is. So the best way to do that, I think, is to like slow down a little bit and then ollie and land on that, just like that. And the next thing, boom, right there is skate and some cash. And I'm going to land from this and immediately do like a turnaround. I'll show you one thing I maybe forgot to mention earlier is that getting switch, changing your switch to, or changing your stance from regular to switch or switch to regular sort of helps you turn quickly, and sometimes it gives you a little bit of a speed boost, like if you're starting a level. So it's an interesting thing you can use sometimes. So I'm going to do that right here and just go boom, and then I get those barrels, and you don't even have to go up this ramp all the way to get the hidden tape. So next thing, this is a pretty tricky thing right here. You want to ollie over this bar to get the cash, get that pilot wing, grind on this, and then get that $100. So that points you also in the direction of the final set of barrels and the second secret area with the propeller and the remaining cash. And also it'll be an interesting way to nose grind the half pipe. So I'm gonna land here. I screwed up my big drop, which is why I bailed there. But I got those barrels where they landed. So that just opened up the secret area. But you can see I'm doing a nose grind while I'm going across this, because sometimes it's kind of finicky, but sometimes you can get nose grind the half pipe. You can complete that goal by doing a nose grind on a propeller blade. So let's see if I get it. Yep, so I registered, and that's enough points for 6 score. And now you just want to get the cash in here as quickly as you can. I like to just get like minimal air right here, and then this is kind of a weird thing to get this last cash. I kind of like to do a little sideways boneless ollie instead of just getting like normal air. But sometimes you land it, sometimes you feel it. Okay, so I got everything there. You can see it's at 100% all goals and cash. So the next thing you do is you don't end run. It's a little bit slower to end run on PC. So you hit retry and then end run. And then it asks you to do that, but if you hit the grind button, it cancels it. So necessary to save your career, and then you just menu down to spend some cash, because we up stats twice in this run, at least I do. You can do it more often to your own discretion, but I find this is the only necessary time, so you need to up stats. So that's Hangar. Hangar's done. I hope I did that slowly enough in enough detail to make it doable or understandable. You can watch other videos of other runners like Kibbs and Ace and Ty, and they approach the level differently than I do. And you can do it all kinds of ways and be just as fast. So definitely check out other approaches, find out what's most comfortable for you. This was most comfortable for me and pretty consistent. So yeah, you want to up with Jamie, specifically your ollie and your speed. Speed, obviously, it's a speed run, you want to go fast, and ollie just helps you get to the places you need to go. Meanwhile, you can get air from ollies, you can get air from your air and hang time stats, and we're going to use ollie because you can ollie on command, but when you get air, you kind of just are stuck with it, if that makes any sense. So then you just back out with the grind button, you spend your cash, and we got maxed out ollie and speed, and that's gonna do it for almost the entire game until we get to Bullring. So school is a really big level, so you have to do multiple retries. I believe it's 3 retries that I have in this route to get everything, because there's some cash in weird places, there's some goals in weird places, and it's just really big. So the first thing that I like to do is just get some of the cash that's right here at the beginning of the level. Oh, and yeah, you can see the unique goals for school here are bells, hall passes, TC's roof gap, roll call rails. So I start off by just doing a little ollie trick and then a wally right up to here. You get this cash, and then land on this, grind, ollie off, and you get another cash. And then immediately I retry. So you can see I did that with a pretty fast wally with like a no comply or a boneless into it, and then I kind of just drop off here. And it's pretty straightforward if you like hug this wall to land so that you grind the little edge here, and that takes you right to the cache. By the way, grinding, like in Tony Hawk 2, like most other Tony Hawk games, is sort of the fastest way to get around if you can do it efficiently. So next thing, there's some cache up on top of a building and TC's rip gap from Do. So you want to start off by just doing another wall ride here. You get this cache, and you jump off to the right, drop down. So here's another instance where I think it's faster to do a special trick or get like a perfect landing. So I'm just going to do a special trick. And you can see sort of in the distance above that little box is the cache icon that I'm going for. The way that most people probably do it is just go up the little ramp in front of it and try and land on the rail. But that's slow and also I think more difficult than the way I'm going to try and approach it here. So this is how I do it. Land that, and then boom, just like that. So it's an easy way to get that cache, it's the fast way to do it. Now to maintain speed as I'm going from here to where I'm going to jump off this building in front of me to get some cache and TC's roof gap, I'm going to do a little manual combo. And it's kind of weird quirk about this game that sometimes if you do like short manual combos while you're going from one place to another, it helps you preserve some of your speed or almost increase it to a degree. So I'm going to do that right here, manual, and then quick turn. Oops, so I missed that. I'll keep going back. It's kind of a difficult jump to hit, especially while you're explaining things and go forward. Land that, go and grind this guy, boom. Oh, I did manual, it's okay. And then boom. So alright, so I missed that. Normally I want to land on top of the little trailer there while getting the cache. Sometimes you can land on the side and grind it, but as a backup you just go up like that, and then TC's roof gap is that. You get a kickflip, you got the goal. You can hear the goal confirmation sound, and then retry. So the next thing we're going to do is get sort of the majority of the other goals in the level, and there's a little bit of backtracking that you have to do, but fairly minimal amount. It's a pretty quick way to go about the level, I think. So first thing, this bell right over here, do it with a wall ride, and you're good. That should give you almost enough points for special, if not points for special, and then you go down here, get the S, and then I'm going to go up to that platform with the quarter pipe on it, like that, and try not to get a whole lot of air, and try not to bail. It's sort of tricky. Then we go back where we came from. We'll revisit this area later. So there's a perfect landing I tried to do, get some speed. Now you sort of want to slow down here and grab this guy, and then you can wall ride to get back up to this area because you want to go to the roll call rail next, but you can also just turn around. It's faster to do this little wall you grind, but it's kind of tricky. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Alright, so repeat. Bell, S, K, don't bail, turn around, go this way. You can, grinding up rails is actually a fast way to get from here to there in this game. Okay, so I screwed that up. I'll show you. You can just go like this way. Next thing is this roll call rail. And then up here, right where you're pointed next is some cache. And so I tried to get a bunch of points there because I tried to get score in this chunk of the level as well. So now to the right is a hall pass. Trying to do a boneless to get it because sometimes you won't get enough air otherwise. Here's another bell. So right after this bell, actually, think about wall rides. I feel it's a little bit faster if you wally at the end of your wall ride as you're going down for your landing, as opposed to just landing like flat on the ground without a wally. I'm not sure exactly why that is, but it feels faster for me. So do something like that, and then up here, oops. You don't want to land on this right side of it, but you want to go, oopsies, you want to go up this way. You don't have to get to A right away because we're going to come back after we wall ride this. And I'm going to do some tricks here to get special and to get some score. So we go back down here, and that's second roll call rail. Now, leads us right to here. I missed it, but there's another hall pass. And then we want to go back this way. Normally you'd do that all in one fluid motion. Now here's an interesting trick. Right around this corner is the, there's a couple of quarter pipes that have goal objects above them. One of them is a letter, one of them is a hall pass. So normally you just like go up the quarter pipe and get a little bit of air and grab them, but a quicker way to do it is with little wallies like that, because it also takes you to the next one and it takes you to this roll call rail right here. So after that, immediately jump off to the left and you get this wally. So now I have score and it takes me right to this hall pass, and then there's a letter, a T is right around the corner here, and there's a nice way that you can get it without losing too much speed. So if you go up the middle, you don't need to get air, and there's less wall ride. So we have like 20 seconds left. If you do it really quick, you can have like up to 45 seconds left there. So then retry, and now we're gonna go back down by where that the K was in that quarter pipe, because there's some cash over there that I haven't gotten yet, and also the easiest way to get to the hidden tape is over there. So we're gonna do that. Do one of these to get special, so I'm going a little bit faster, and I'm gonna do, oops. I'm gonna show that if you do a 180 on a rail like this and then land, you usually get a perfect landing, and that's another way to get a speed boost. So here's 50 bucks, and then try and do a little grind like that to get up here. Press left a little bit to get the 50, but don't go over the edge. And then if you do a wall ride and you grind there, it's really nice. Next cache right here. So now I've gotten all the cache in this area, except for there's one on the way up to the hidden tape roof. But what you want to do is sort of turn around right as you land, and that'll point us in the direction of the ramp that leads up to the roof. And to keep speed, it's good to grind a rail like that and then do a boneless, and you're good. So right here, you can go off the ramp like I just did right there, or it's actually faster to just go to the side of the ramp and do like a boneless or a nollie, and then you can just grind like the flag on the left or the right, depending on what side of the building you landed on to begin with. Because you get less air, and then you land in a grind, which obviously gives you a little bit of speed boost. But anyways, this is the easy way to do it. And there's that. Now you jump off to the left. You can see there's some more cash. I get out of switch because switch is slow. Oops. I screwed up the ollie there. It's supposed to ollie over that little rail. Now we're almost done with school. Make your way over here. Boom, last cache. That's 100%. That is school. So there's some other ways you can approach this level, but this is the fastest way I've found to do it, and it's pretty effective. So again, you retry instead of end run, because it doesn't give you like the sort of goal fanfare. And then after retrying, you end run, and then level select. And we level select into Marseilles, which is the first competition. So competition levels, you don't have goals. You just have cash, and you need to get X amount of points to get a gold medal. In Marseilles, it's like 60K-ish. There's an easy way to do that while getting all the cash. So for the first heat, I go to the left like this, and do a little combo like that. And I only got 30K there, so if you do a perfect landing and you do that slightly more efficient, you get like about 60K. But however you want to do it, improvise, get more points, and then I like to end run right there. So 92 is a good amount. That's pretty much always going to get you first place in all the competition levels. So it was a little sloppy. Maybe I'll try and do that in a more efficient way just to demonstrate. So I like to do 180 bonus 360 airwalk, and then a 360 flip airwalk with a 360 spin as I'm landing. So it's sort of a lot of buttons, but generally that's the motion you should be following to get enough score and to get that cash all in one go. So then you end run, get a decent amount of points. Now we're gonna go, there's cash up on a banner in the middle of the level that we're gonna grab, and it's sort of a tricky transfer jump that you have to do to get there, but you can get it with practice. And that's gonna open up a decent combo and also point us in the direction of the secret area that has the remaining cash in it. Also, if you don't get enough points from the first heat, you can usually get an excess of points from this heat that allows you to sort of compensate for that. So you transfer jump right up to there by just holding up as you go off the half pipe. Get that cash, and then you jump off and go this way and break that little thing to open up the secret area there. So try to enter in the right side of there because it opens up earlier, you fall faster. So turn around immediately to get that 50, and then you want to start your grind on this rail where you see it's like going down the stairs. It's a little bit faster in starting it on the flat non-angled part. And then you could sort of see 3 of the cash icons that you need to get are all lined up, so it's pretty much just a straightaway to that quarter pipe in the back there that I'm about to go do. So, and oops, normally I would have liked to get special there, but that was kind of sloppy. So now I have a decent amount of points, and now you just go cash right up here, do like a no comply or boneless, and then you're good. Go to that one, and you're done, and run. So now you might think that you want to end competition, but it's actually faster to go into another heat, immediately pause, and end run for that heat, and then you get your medal. And it tells you, if you're on PC version, that you opened up Downhill Jam, which is it's a non-career level. It's a secret level from Tony Hawk 1. And then it says you opened New York, and yes, you do want to go there now. And here's where you'll see it's actually faster to have done the 3rd heat. It skips a blackout, a little like fading sequence to New York that you otherwise would have had if you ended the run in your 2nd heat. So we got that instead of a slower blackout. So now we're on New York. New York I do in 2 chunks. It starts off with a sort of tricky wall ride. So I'll show you. So you have to ollie hydrants, subway tokens, 50-50 Joey sculpture, and grind the subway rails are the unique goals in this level. So I like to start off by immediately turning around and then doing a little combo to get special. And then you do a quick wally on that wall. I did a no comply, so I might not get it to get up onto this awning because there's some cash up there. Okay, yeah, I didn't get it. So immediately turn around, get special, and then try and do a boneless. There you go. And grind there, and jump off and get that 50. Now, to my left, sort of in the direction that I'm jumping, you can see one of the little shitty 2D hydrants that you have to ollie over. There are 3 of them. They're kind of a pain. The stuff that you have to ollie over for goals in this game is really finicky. There's a certain way that the game wants you to do it. I find it's easiest to get them while you're, like, right when you start your ollie. So while you're going up, you want to be going over the object, and that way it registers most of the time. But these hydrants are also just like really small and really finicky, so good luck. You can slow down a little bit. Alright, so I missed theirs off a little. There we go. 1 of 3. And then there's cash up here. Get that however you want. And then go over here and then point yourself back this way because you want to do a jump like that. I'm going to restart the level just so I can demonstrate that jump a little bit better. So imagine I go up here, I get that cash, I land, and then I missed that by a mile. And then hydrant. And then you get cash. And this wally is not super easy, so feel free to practice this for a while and take your time, or not even do it. But cash up there, and it also gets you straight to the next hydrant right here. Boom. So then you want to turn to the left and start grinding the sidewalk right here. Watch out for this patch right there, you can grind. And then you don't even have to, you just ollie once you get to the hydrant, you'll get it every time. You don't have to stop your grind or anything. And you want to make sure that you just ollie straight up, because if you go to the side, you probably won't get it. So now we're in the area with the subway tokens, and there's some cash and some skate letters. So I'm going to go to the left of that, or to the right of that little kicker, and then grab a subway token and turn around. Just like this. And then right up here is another subway token. Pray that I don't get hit by a taxi. And then, oh, that's kind of a tricky jump right there. So kickers in this game are, they don't really send you into the air the same way every time. Generally, I think it's best for most kickers to ollie when you're just like beginning on the kicker. Once like you're first on it, there's the A right there, you can get off that little slope. Because if you ollie too late, you get less air off of a kicker. Sometimes it's a good thing, usually it's a bad thing. Turn around, go up here, get a letter, and then that should point you right towards this jump to get that 250 that's on top of the statue. I like to not even try and do a boneless or no comply there, just go straight over the statue, because it's easy to mistime your ollie right there. It's not always easy to get that first try. So there's a few ways you can approach this next little segment, but the way I like to do it is going up to the left over this grass, which is kind of tricky because grass sucks, it slows you down, so you want to kind of get up there fast with like a bonus. You grind this, and you grab the S. This is another area where you don't want to jump off to the right or to the left, you just want to jump off straight because you don't really have a lot of speed here, and you want to just jump straight because otherwise you will miss the hitbox of the S. And then I'm going to land and I'm going to do a quick turn using changing stance to get to the next token. Like that, and try and stay off the grass. So right here I do a fun little combo, you go like that, and then immediately to the right you grind this bench, and it's going to lead you to some cash and the next skate letter, like this. And then straight in front of you is the E, don't even get any air, just go up, and then final token. So I got like 90,000 points there. Which is 60,000 shy of the 6 score for this level. That's okay, because there is a huge opportunity to get a ton of points while we're doing the subway rails, which is why we're going to retry. And as you can see, it sort of takes you a little bit closer to where you need to be going. Also, it sets your timer back to 2 full minutes, so in case you were in crunch time, you don't have to worry about trying to get everything before timer expires, which is kind of hard to do, but you can do it in this level. Anyways, I want to get Joey's sculpture right now. It's a taxi right there. So it's kind of a tricky timing to not fail or not get hit by the taxi. So that's, you just jump on it, you 50-50. I like to hit it closer to the top. Try and demonstrate one of the ways you can do this. That's kind of fast. Nah, I screwed that up. If you hit it really enough, you can jump off and then grind that. So now you want to, if you didn't get the cash with that difficult wally right at the beginning, you can go up this ramp, just do like a super late boneless and you'll get enough air to get there. Bonelessing off ramps is a thing that I should probably talk about. When you get air off of a quarter pipe or a half pipe, if you press up before you get air, or if you press up twice, you're going to do a nollie, or you're going to do a no comply or a boneless. And it just gets you a little bit more air, especially if you do it really late. You can sort of get air off the pipe and then mash up and ollie, and it sort of gives you a little bit more air than you would usually get. Especially horizontally, you can get a lot more movement. So now I'm going to go up the escalator, grab some cash, and then we're going to start the subway rails grind. So that's just to the left right here. Now the fastest way to do this is like 3 little chunks like that, and then this is how I like to start my combo. You can do this however you want. This is sort of a tricky way to do it, but to turn around fast here, it's cool to just do this little wall ride after you jump off for the 3rd time, and then you land in a manual and just turn around and grind the subway rails. So I'll try and do that. Oh, I screwed it up. All right. I'll try and demonstrate. So here we are, and we're going back up this way. I missed that. I'm doing this all in one take, so you'll have to forgive me for mistakes I'm making. I just want to make sure I illustrate the correct way to do stuff. Alright. And you do a little wall ride, or you're landing a manual or whatever, and then you're on the rail. And then just keep on doing like 180s and flips and grabs, and then don't do that. Maybe I'll edit this out and put in another chunk of video, whatever. I don't know. Regardless, go up here, land in manual, turn around, grind this sucker. Then at the last second, jump off like that, get that cash. Alright, so now we are going to get the ride the rails, which accomplishes the rails goal, and we're also going to have a good chunk of score. And the next thing is there's some cash on this little like street or bridge or whatever it is that we're on, and that's going to also lead us to the hidden tape. So immediately turn right, and then you want to do a really quick grind and ollie off of that little chunk of pavement. But if you don't, you can turn around like this right here and jump off like that to get that 50. It's kind of hard. And anyways, get back up here and make your way to this rail. Jump off to the left, get 50, and then I'm gonna jump off to the left here because there's 2 more cash icons we need to get. You can sort of see that one off in the distance on top of that fence. You can get that one first. I think it's slower. So I'm gonna get this other one, and that's gonna be score right there. So right up here, I think you do need to get air, and unless you have like 6 speed, you can not get air, but that's 1 less caches. And then if you go up like this, oops, screwed it up. But if you maintain a decent amount of speed right there, the fastest way to get this cache is just to go up from there like that. As a backup, or as an alternate way, if you aren't comfortable with that, you can do a little wally, grind, transfer, grind, and that's everything. And retry, and run. We're done with New York. So you can see 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%. Venice. Venice is a hard level. That's the big pain. So you need to get 200k, you need to ollie the magic bomb, spray cans, Venice ledge, and the VB transfers. VB transfer is probably the toughest thing, toughest individual goal in this game, in my opinion. So I'm gonna start off by trying to get special and get to the first spray paint can as quickly as I can. So I like to do that by doing it like that, or do a little combo. You can also do like a wall ride right here, and just like wally off at the last second, you get that gap. But anyways, get a spray can, have special, and then you start a long grind combo right here, and it's going to get you a ton of points. It should get you score. Try to do special grinds, and then right here, ollie off, and then we're going to try and do the VB transfer right there. It's really difficult, if not impossible, to get that spray can while you're doing this jump and still complete it, so I wouldn't worry about that. Or like getting the spray can and then immediately turning around is really hard. And we'll be sort of in this area later in the level, so don't worry about it. Alright, so I'll try to do that more cohesively this time. So do whatever you want to get special, and then try and do a long grind combo here, throw in some spins, and then ollie off, land in a manual. There's a late bonus that I was talking about to get extra air, and then you get VB transfer. So immediately start grinding here. I like to land this in a manual, and then you get spray can. So it was kind of a lot of stuff, but as you can see, I landed that after doing the late boneless, and then just went straight along to that long grind, because grinding's fast. And landing in that manual like I did to maintain the combo, 1, it gets you points if you don't have score yet, but 2, it sort of gives you like just the correct amount of air, I think, to get that spray can while doing this transfer. So the next thing after you land this is you're going to do another transfer, and you want to do it at a pretty sharp angle as you're going up the ramp, because there's some cash floating above this transfer, and this is a second VB transfer that you're going to be doing in this level. So I'll show you. There's a like little sharp angle like that, and then you get the VB pit transfer and the cash all in one jump. If you don't get the cash because you get too much air or whatever, you can get it later. It's not too big of a deal, but it's like the fast way to do it. So the next thing I need to do is sort of get on top of the little area that I'm at right now. So I like to do a quick little turnaround into a wally that gets me up, and it also gets you a letter. So I'll show you. I like to do something like, oops, screwed up. Something like this. So normally if you have enough speed, you get the K while you land, and everything's good. So now you go this way. So grind that and make sure you do a 180 while you land, because this is another super easy way to score a perfect landing and get a speed boost. And you want to get a speed boost going into this next bit because you're doing a pretty large transfer. You can see that cash icon floating off in the distance you want to grab. And if you don't get that speed boost, sometimes you won't really be able to efficiently get the cash in like one motion. So try and demonstrate that. Perfect landing, get out of switch, and cash, and now I'm going to land, transfer. So now immediately turn around, grind this guy. And you can see I passed that bum right there because we're going to do bums in another run. So now I am in the direction of the next letter and the next couple of things. So you want to just start grinding here, and then you can see there's the A. So do a little combo to the A, maybe throw in a 180 there so you can get another perfect landing, and then we're going to go off a ramp onto the roof, which is where another letter is. And this is another kicker that you again want to time your ollie off sort of earlier than you might think, because that way you get more air. As you can see, I did that maybe like halfway up the ramp. And get on a switch. You don't need to get air there to grab that, just hold ollie down. Then you want to go this way, and now we're going to grind up this rail, this little wire structure thing, to get some cash. And then there was a skate letter floating there that I'm going to get as well before going to another VB transfer and the Venice ledge. So up we go. Don't need to go all the way across the whole thing, so, and then skate letter, and then turn around and ollie right over that. And now you can see those two quarter pipes over there are where the next VB transfer is, and that's the ledge with the little chunk of cash floating above it. And we're trying to get that all in like one smooth motion here. You don't have to do it in this way, but it's like the fastest way to do it. So land, and then go with this guy. Boom, VB transfer, and then immediately wall ride and tail slide. So by default here, tail slide is left and grind, or default. Really, that's the only way you can do it. So you just hold left and grind as you do that wally, and you're good to go. You're going to get the tail slide, the Venice ledge goal 80, 90, 95% of the time like that. It's sort of a stupid goal that doesn't always work 100% correctly. As long as you don't do it too late, though, you're usually good. So now I have the Venice beach transfers. I have almost all the letters. I have almost all, well, I think I have 2 spray paint cans, and I have score. So there's a spray paint can that's sort of right up where this kicker is, and there's a tricky way that you can sort of get it all in one jump, but sometimes you have to do 2, so I'll try and do that. So we're gonna go straight ahead and then up off this kicker. And if you go at just the right angle, right like that, you can get it and not have to go back up that quarter pipe after like turning around. And it should also give you a nice little landing here that sends you off in the right direction. So yeah, that wasn't that smooth of a landing. Grind up this guy, get that cash, and now we're gonna go sort of back where the beginning of the level was to get another spray paint can and head to the S and the final spray paint can. So just cut the corner right here with this, and then grind that, and then do a boneless onto there, because it's sort of hard to do just a full grind combo. So that's skate, and here's this guy that we passed up earlier, and boom, I have like 15 seconds left. You can probably go 15 to 20 seconds faster, and I just did with that. Maybe faster if you're like really good. So that's a good chunk of goals. I'm gonna end run right here just to show what goals we have done. So majority of them. Ollie the Magic Bomb is sort of a time-consuming goal, so it's nice to be able to put it in its own little run here. And the secret tape is on the way to the first bum, so we don't need to get that in the first run. So don't save career and just retry. Normally you just retry, you don't and run and view the goals. I just wanted to show that. So retry. Do a boneless and get special over that fence, maybe do another ollie trick on your way, and then boneless up to there to get the secret tape. And then over here is the first bum. So if you didn't get, I'm going to show what you can do if you didn't get the cash that was floating up here with that big transfer off the roof. You can do a cool little wally if you can do it quickly enough that gets you the cash. You just go like that, and that should be like enough air usually to get that. So bums are like he's gonna open up a can on you. They're like the hydrants in New York City, in that you sort of want to try and do an early or ollie like right before you're next to him, so that you're still going up while you're going over him. I find that's the best way to get the bums. So now we're gonna try and do a transfer over on the other side of this ramp, not the one that I'm looking at right now, but that one right there, to get that cash. And this is it's a pretty wide transfer to do, So you want to have a decent angle to it, but generally the way that you're going to land it is you're either going to bail, or you can land on the edge of the little like roof here, and or this little chunk of concrete, and land in a grind. So that's usually what I end up doing. So I'll try and do that right now. Oh, okay, so I screwed up. If you keep a good amount of speed, you usually don't do that, and you usually can do like a later boneless than I did. So I'm gonna go into the sand here. That's no big deal. So now I'm just gonna head back there. You have a decent amount of time to make some mistakes in this level. So boom, I get the bum, and then up like that. All right, whatever. I'm gonna screw up a lot in this video. Get special. Now I'm just gonna show you can just grind. Oops. Oops, oops. Maybe I will have to retry. No, okay, I'm gonna retry because I've lost a lot of time. Like I was saying, get special, go up this, get hidden tape. And here's our bum friend.
Get out of here, you creep!
And then boom, hopefully get cash, land in a grind just like that. See, it's easy. Now, I like to jump off before I get to the end here, because if you jump off and kind of bonk on this little like window aluminum thing, it could sort of point you in a direction that almost gets you to land on the next bum. And that's beneficial, obviously, because sometimes just by dropping down on them from a higher elevation, you can get the ollie goal. So I'm trying to do that. A sloppy landing, but just like nice and slow, fall in here, and you're like right next to them. There we go. So now back up this way. I like to cut this corner by doing like that. And we're gonna go up here to get some cash in the next bum. Here's a little kicker that's also kind of weird to get up. There we are. Banner cash right here, and then jump off about there, pointing yourself towards the palm tree here. And then you want to try and do what we just did earlier with that one bum. This is a lot easier to do on this guy, to just drop down and get him. So there's a bum right over the little edge here. And just like slow down, maybe point yourself sort of like that, and then there you go, bum. So turn around, wally up here, or you can just go around. If you're not comfortable doing that wally, you can just go all around this structure to get to the bum that spawns right over here. That one is really hard to get just while dropping down, so I recommend just slowing down and doing a little ollie over him like that. So now the next thing to get is there's some cash and the last bum. So to do that, we want to just turn around, and here's sort of a hard jump. You have to time it pretty well, and you have to do a no comply or a boneless, otherwise you generally won't have enough air with Jamie. But you can kind of wrap around here to go up this kicker to get that cash. And yeah, that should get it. You don't have to be like right on top of it, but that's good. So now back to the start of the levels where the final bum is, and just ollie over him into the sand, and that's everything. Again, retry and run, and Venice is done. So next level is the second competition, Skatestreet. So Skatestreet, you need, I don't know, it's like 90k-ish is gold. 90k is usually pretty safe for gold, maybe 85 or so. But there's two secret areas that you open up by doing 2 grind gaps, and the first one is pretty much right next to you where you start. So you're gonna immediately turn to the left and do a combo that gets you this grind gap. So here we go, turn to the left, and you wanna do ollie to that and get that van secret area key gap. So that opens up the van secret area. And you can see doing that also, you get one cache icon, it points you in the direction of another cache icon that's on this little, or floating above this little railing here. So the easiest way to do that is just start a grind on the beginning of the railing and then ollie up, just straight up, not at an angle, and you should usually get it if you have a decent amount of speed, like that. Oh, sorry, I didn't have a decent amount of speed. So we'll go through the motion again. Boom, boom, combo, decent amount of points, and there we go. So turn to the right, and there's oh, it just disappeared. There's that next cache icon that we're kind of just gonna drop down on from grinding this rail. Oops, so I screwed that up. It's hard to commentate and pause a lot while playing a game. Try it sometime. So boom, there's that cache, and then go down here, just like that. And you can drop down onto this little half pipe right here, and it points you in the direction of the secret area that you opened. So don't forget to grind. Maybe do some tricks here, combo, because you want to get some more points. And then the best way to get that is just by doing like an alley, a boneless there to get that 50. Otherwise, you can get it by going back up, just like that. So I have 70,000 points now, which is a little shy of where I'd like to be, so I'm going to probably improvise here. But here's the secret area. Just go in here, and then you can just boneless right onto the van here. And that's normally, if you have no points, where you'd end the run. But I'm going to do like a few tricks here and there, so... Oh, that's no good. Let's see if I can get some points. Okay. Yeah, 91. So I got like second place, but not by a lot. So I'm just gonna have to overcompensate in this next run and get a little bit more points. So now we're gonna go to that. You can kind of see in the left side of the screen, there's that cache over there. There's some more cache to the right. So we're kind of gonna try and do a long combo on your way there. So first things first, get special. I like to go off this guy, do a laser flip, and then sharp turn, getting that, and hold grind while you're doing this wall ride, and then you can sort of do that wall ride shuffle that I just did, and it just gives you more points, adds to your multiplier, and it usually gives you enough points to get gold all in this one combo. And then you land, so 50, well that's not nearly enough points, but you want to start grinding this big ramp here, but you don't want to start grinding on the little arc part because that slows you down. So if you start grinding like over here without falling like I did, I'll demonstrate again. So combo, la la la, like a sharp turn, wally, wally, and then like that. Land on there, get the cache, and that's wave wall mini gap unlocks this next secret area. I have like 87,000 points. So you want to keep a lot of speed going into this and then do a boneless, which I screwed up. So if you screw up like I just did, you can turn around and try and get it after doing like a little grind here. But boneless gets you enough air, and then you that's all the cache in the level. So 93, that's good. I have to do one more heat, obviously, because I had to retry the competition. So you can get score doing something like this, some degree add-on, and then you just land, boom, 100,000. All right, again, you hit next heat to go into a third heat, which you immediately cancel to skip the fade out, going to the next level, which is Philly. Just like that. So Philly is another pretty big level, but a lot of the level doesn't really have anything in it, so you don't have to spend any time there. The unique goals, you have to drain the fountain, collect bells, blunt slide the awning, then lip trick before skate park lips. So the first thing I like to do in this level is, it's a really long combo, it's kind of tricky, it's sort of finicky in how you execute it, but it's really the best and most efficient way to get score, get some cash, and drain the fountain all in one go. So I'll try and I'll do it multiple times and explain what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, so that it maybe makes sense, because there's some little details and adjustment that make it work. So first I'll just try and do it. So first off, oops, I'm gonna get some points. Like I said, it's tricky. Land and grind, do a trick, land and manual, go like that. Do a bunch of jumps here so you get points but also don't fail, and then you land on that cache, turn around, cache, cache. So that was a lot there, and as you can see it's a lot of buttons, so I'll try and break it down. So first things first, I like to do a 180 boneless or no comply trick to start off, and if you land that with a perfect landing, you should get special if you don't, it's no big deal because it'll get special from this next grind. But also, I like to get into switch stance by doing a trick before I grind this next thing, because then you can get a perfect landing really easily when you get off of it. So boom, some points, and then perfect landing, bunch of points, and I have a good chunk of speed and I'm pointed in exactly the right direction to continue where I'm going. So now I'm going to do a fairly late boneless off of this kicker. I'm going to get that bell that's hovering up there, and then I'm going to land hopefully on the rail that leads to the building. So here we go. Oops. Blah. 180. Boneless, and I do a laser flip. And now I'm on my way to land on the little rail above the stairs there. So you're going to land on this rail, and then you're not going to grind it all the way to the bottom. You're going to ollie off before you get to the end, and then you want to land in a manual. And the thing about manuals in Tony Hawk 2 is that doing combos with multiple manuals in them can sometimes be really weird. And different manuals, notice manuals and regular manuals, have different balance meters to them, so you want to switch up your manuals here. So I like to do this one with a regular down-up manual, and then when I land up on top of the building, I do a one-wheel nose manual, the special manual, which I believe counts as a nose manual. So I'll see again. I'm gonna try and grind this rail and jump off a little bit before the end. Then I'm gonna go up the curb there, which is effectively a little kicker, and it's gonna lead me up to the building. Alright, so I'm on my way up here. I did a trick. So now I have to land in another manual and get those valves that are right in front of you. So the valves, you pretty much have to go right directly through them. The hitbox is not like very big. There's no hitbox in between the valves, so you can go in between the valves and not get it. So sort of point yourself. I like to go for like the middle one or the far right one, and then do sort of a swerve turn so that you're going at a good, like pretty parallel angle with the wall to do the wall ride into Wally into a grind. And then immediately once you get that grind, hop off to the right and grind the other side of the building. So I'll try and do that. And so I didn't grind, but effectively that's the motion. So, and then that takes you to the hidden tape and the rest of the cache. Again, boom, jump off a little early, trick, kind of go to the right, get that guy, immediately jump off, and now we're on our way. So your balance here is not perfect, so you want to, it helps to sort of do a lot of ollies there, plus you get your degree add-on for a lot of points, and your multiplier goes up a lot. And then you jump off at the right time to get the floating cache right there. And then, like I did earlier, so 400k is plenty enough points. There's cache right here, and there's cache right here, and you're good to go. So that's the first chunk of Philly that I like to do. Philly's another level where you can get all the goals without retrying, but it's really hard. You have to pretty much not make any mistakes. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to do the same first half of that combo to get back up to the building here. So turn around, get switch, get some points. Turn around, get switch, get some points. Land this, bell, and now I'm back up here. So now instead of getting the valves, because we already got them, I'm going to do a little loop around so that I can grind off this little railing here and onto another rail that has some cache. So land, turn, and then get on this guy, and then jump off right at the end, get some cache. Land, and you turn to the right, and now we're going to go and do a quick boneless Wally, wall ride Wally into a grind, and you can sort of see it right above the S and paused is the next cache icon that we're going to get. And then you can see sort of a little bit below the left end of the A and paused is a bell, and then there's the S to the left of the P, and those are the next things that we're going to go to. The bell is pretty much right on your way after the cache. So here we go. You have to do that pretty quick to get that. So you can jump off to the left here if you jump off late enough, and it's good to do that because then you don't land in the grass, and you can start your wall ride here to get the bell at a good spot. So here we go, we land, and then wall ride, bell. It's nice to do it earlier so that when you land, you don't land in the grass or you don't like bonk too hard, but then you just turn around, go ollie up these steps, turn around again, and then S, just like that. So now you're going to land in the grass here, sort of slows you down. So just like ollie off a bit, and then now we're going up to another thing that's pretty finicky in this game, and that's the blunt sliding the awning. So the awning kind of sucks. For one, when you grind it, you don't always get the goal gap, and the little like ledge kicker here that you have to go off is, like a lot of kickers in this game, it sort of sucks to ollie off. So it just takes practice to get familiar with the timing, and the timing also depends on how fast you're going, but generally if you follow the route you'll be going at roughly the same speed all the time, especially if you land in the grass. So you want to just do like a boneless or no comply off of this little ramp here, and then land with a blunt slide or a nose blunt slide on the awning. And as you can see, there's also the K up there, and we're going to get that too. Blunt slides are down grind, nose blunt slides are up grind, so do either of those inputs and you'll get the goal. Here we go. Just barely got it. Awning grind gap, and I got the K. Now turn around, there's blunt slide the awning. And yeah, you just turn around, go up the same set of kickers to get the bell. You can get the bell and the awning and the K all in one motion, but you need to sort of have a lot of speed, and it's not always easy to do that, especially if you land in the grass after getting the S. So it's maybe like 4 or 5 seconds faster to do that, but not the most important thing in the world. So bell, and now I'm going to turn around and go to this A right here. So there's the A on that little ledge, and we don't even need to grind it, because grinding it will get too much speed, will go too far, because we also have to get that bell that's floating up to the left there. So A, all right to the bell. Now there's another bell, you can barely see it. If you look at the D and pause and go all the way to the right, there's a bell, and it's sort of just hovering there. So you can get it just by going like this. Sometimes you'll go under it if it's floating too high, so you might have to do two little loops here, but just get it like that. And then turn around, grind this, and ollie off to get that cash right there. Now we're gonna kind of bonk, and bonking there is not a bad thing to do, because usually if you're bonking while you're sort of angled to the left a little bit, it'll point you in the direction of where you need to go, which is up this thing right here. So now you can kind of see near the top left of the screen there's a skate letter, that's the T. We're going to do a quick grind off this little 2D ramp rail here, and ollie off of that and grab the T, and then immediately turn around so that we can go up the same ramp again and get the cash and the E. So like that. Almost got the cash there as well. And then start your grind combo right here. Don't start it like right at the corner. Try and do it a little bit earlier during the flat section of the rail. That way you build up just a little bit more speed than doing it exactly at the corner, because you want to be able to. This is going to open up the secret area in this level, which is the skate park. By doing this grind, it knocks over that post by the E. But you want to be able to get that 50 and then jump off and land on the E. So let's see if I can do that. Oops, I screwed up. So I was talking, pausing. Alright, perfect landing for speed, even though I slowed down. So like start like there, do an ollie, and then another ollie, and you should get it. And then you should maybe not get hit by a bus. I'm going to pause and retry. I have 40 seconds left, which, well, yeah, I'll just keep going. You want to have a decent chunk of time left for this section, because things can go wrong. So do a little grind combo there so you can get a perfect landing and get some speed. And now here's where you have to do 4 lip tricks on different chunks of this skate park here. So the first one you need to do is just in this half pipe right here. The way I like to do it, I think is the fastest way, is do a lip trick on the left side of the half pipe, because then you have to go up the right side to get some cash that's pretty high up, and because you have to go pretty high up, you're going to come off that with more speed than you would if you did the lip trick, and you'll see that we need speed to do a transfer into the pool area. So lip trick, get some decent air. Okay, so I missed it. It's sort of a weird spot. Might not have enough time to get all the things. Yeah, there it is. And then hold up here to do the transfer, and then do a late ollie to try and get that cash. So I didn't get it right there. So I'm going to retry and try and demonstrate all this in another way. So here we are, we just got the E, blah blah blah, we didn't get hit by a bus. And then we're going to grind this rail. We're going to use tricks, go up speed, perfect landing, get that guy, go up here, cash. Now, this cash in this transfer here is kind of weird to get, because sometimes, you know, the lineup is kind of weird because you're pretty blind going into it. But you can also get too much or too little air. So I like to do as late of a ollie as possible after doing the transfer. So you hold up while you're going over the edge of the half pipe, and then hold ollie still after you've started to go over the ramp, and then let go of ollie with a boneless or a no comply in there, and you should get the cash most of the time. So like that. Now the next chunk of the bowl that you need to get is just in this right side corner. So I like to do this one right here, and then right up here is where the next cache is, up this really tall ramp. Ooh, god dang it, I didn't mean to do that. Alright. One more time. I have like this reflex where if I pause, I'm immediately retrying. Oops, slow. So, one more time. Land, perfect landing, get that. There's the cache. Late ollie, more cache. Second lip trick, and then go up this guy. Sometimes you go off to the left or the right and you bail, it's no big deal, you should have enough time. So the next one to get is this one right here. Again, we're going to do the lip trick first because there's some more cache up here, and you get some speed while you land. Ooh, if I can ever get it. Wowee. Oh man. So don't suck. Don't be bad. Alright, and then last one right here. Boom. And that's everything in Philly. Retry and run. And now we're going to go back to stats for the last time. So next level is Bullring, and you need max air pretty much. You don't need it, but it really helps to have max air and hang time. So max those out. It's all you really need to max. Some people do rail and manual as well, but it's not like mandatory. So you do that. First 4 stats are maxed out, and you go into Bullring. So Bullring, you probably need to get, what is it, maybe like 120k, I think, 110, 120k for a gold medal. But with the way that you do this level, you should pretty much always get that much, because there's big combos that have a lot of gaps in them that gets you a lot of points. So the first thing that we're going to do is get special, and we're going to try and land really quickly onto this this half pipe here, and then point us in the direction of some of the first cache. So here we go. Get some points. Let's try to do a perfect landing there, and then here. And here's where a late bonus really helps, because you want to go up off that ramp, then let go of ollie and do a boneless in air. Sort of point yourself to the left, not very much because you need to get a lot of air here, but a little bit at an angle so that when you get up high enough and grind that, you're heading in the left direction. Because you can see right above the U and paused is 250 bucks that you need to grab to keep going here. So I'm going pretty slowly. My angle is pretty conservative there. I understand that. So now this ramp that's up ahead of us takes us to a wire that's hanging above the level that has a couple of cache icons on it, and we're going to try and grind on. So you can just try and do like a bonus right off the ramp and get up there, but the time is like super strict. So the easiest way to do it is to go up the ramp to the right, get a little bit of air, line yourself up, and try and get it like that. So I didn't get enough air there. I would have helped if I had done a bonus or no comply, but that's okay. You can just get right back up there. Make sure you keep special. Pretty much always keep special. If you don't have special, that's a problem. Do something to get special. So here we go again. Yeah, alright, so it's no big deal. I'm going to end run right here just so I have enough time to do everything else in the next heat. Ideally, you want to get all the heat, all the cache in one heat here, but it's no big deal if you don't. So, late boneless, grabbing this guy, do a little bit of points, watch out for a big drop there, And up here, turn around. Boneless. Yeah, it was a little bit to the right. This is probably, I think, one of the hardest things to do in a run. Bullring can kind of be a big run killer, and sucks that it's at the end of the run, but with practice you can get pretty consistent with this. There we go. So cash, and then jump off to the right, because again we're going to need to go up this ramp on the edge here and get some more cash that's up on a high wire. So you're definitely going to get a big drop. So to land a big drop, you pretty much just have to hold ollie like not immediately before you land, but just like a little bit before you land. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. It's sort of really peculiar. Yeah, so that time I got it good. So then get a little bit of air and then try to turn around. Yeah, so that time my angle was the wrong way, so I didn't grind in the correct direction. So go like that, and then there we go. Cash. So I have 7 seconds left, which should be enough to get a couple more cash icons, so I'm going to try and do that. You want to jump off this direction, and then here's another ramp you have to go off. Like you can see it's a lot taller, so it's a lot easier to just do a straight boneless off of this one, and like pretend it's like just like a huge kicker, and do pretty early on the ramp ollie off and do a boneless to grind on the wire. So again, it's hard like the first one to get your line up, but it's a lot easier than the first one. So I have 200k points now, plenty enough that I can just end run right there, and I have all of the high wire cash. So it's not all the cash in the level, it's all the wire cash. So the rest of the cash is in the bull poop that is lining the actual like bull track in Bullring. So now I want to get like another chunk of points and get the rest of that bull cash. So I'm going to do that. Improvise however you want to get your points. Ideally you already have it. I'm going to retry here. So silver's not good enough. Restart competition. So pretend that you just done this big rail grind, and then you're going to be landing over here on this side. And then what you want to do is go over this, and then that leads you to 250 bucks in poop. And the bull will do that to you. So you can get a bull plant if you time it correctly. Sometimes it's kind of tricky. So then you can kind of cut the corner here. This light that's striding from somewhere is sort of a good indicator of where to go back into the track. Because it would be slower, obviously, to go all the way around the track and do that big angle, so you can kind of cut the corner here, save some time. So just hold button to go over, hold up, do the bull plant, and then boom. So you can see how I kind of ollie right away when I go over the poop that has cash in it. I probably should have mentioned there's a lot of poop in here, but the ones that have the cash in it are a lighter shade of green. So if you just go straight through the bull poop while you are going really fast, you're gonna miss the cash. So you want to do like a little ollie while you do it. Now there's 2 more. The next one is sort of just straight ahead, not too far away. That one, and then do a little grind for some speed. And here's the last one. I missed it. Here's the bull. All right, cash icons cleared. So that's not enough points. Like I said, if you've done the wire grind and landed to get all the bull poop in one big combo, you would have plenty of points. But there's plenty of other ways you can get points. This is the way that I like to do it. Just with a little combo off of this thing, you can kind of do it. Get a big drop there. So that's 50k. Just do whatever you want to do to get points. Ideally, like I said, you have points already in the first 2 heats where you get all the cash, so maybe that's what I'll do. I'll do the first heat again. Late boneless, not miss the grind. If you miss the grind, just go back up again. Kind of not really doing a good job in Bullring here. It's a pretty hard level. Yeah, I suck. Alright, anyways. Get some points. $100k is good. And this is where you end competition instead of going into a third heat because there's nothing to fade out to. And that's game. You'll know that you got everything from this next message up here, which is awesome job, you cleaned out career mode. So that's 100% Tony Hawk 2. Hopefully explained well enough that makes a little bit of sense. If there's anything I missed out on that doesn't make a whole lot of sense or is too tricky or has some sort of a execution bit to it that you don't get, feel free to message me here in the Tony Hawk Speedrun Discord or on YouTube or wherever, and I can try to help people out. But that sort of demonstrates the route. Check out like maybe my PB vid for a run that's like better execution of most things. You can check out runs from people like Kibbs and Ace and Ty, who all have really good speedruns of this category as well, and also differ in strats a little bit here and there. So like I said earlier on, there's a lot of different approaches you can take to routing in this game because there's like so much stuff to get in each level, and there's a lot of freedom with how you get points and get from here to there. So that's my approach and how I like to do Tony Hawk 200%. Thanks for watching my video.